I'm joined now by SBJ hockey writer Mark Burns. Mark, the NHL closed the curtain on its season. We got three interesting off-season stories I want to talk to you about. First, Seattle will be the NHL's 32nd franchise when it begins play this October. I've talked a lot about the Kraken and how bullish I am on their success. What do you feel could be the business performance of this expansion team?
Yeah, you're already seeing, positive business metrics from the Kraken. They sold out of ticket sales back in January, about 9,000 full season ticket holders. So you're already seeing great numbers from them. They began, as you mentioned, 21-22, their first season. They're playing their games at Climate Pledge Arena, a naming rights partner with Amazon. Amazon isn't on the building. It's Climate Pledge and a focus on Climate Pledge sustainability, which is an interesting wrinkle for a naming rights partner. You don't really see that across pro sports, not having the company's name on a building. The team begins with their preseason 3 home games that aren't actually going to be at Climate Pledge Arena. They're going to be played at some junior hockey facilities in the area, get the word out about the Kraken, and hopefully they'll continue with their positive success on the business side.
Yeah, you've hit it. All the pieces that they're putting in place, really interesting under Todd Leiweke. And I love starting their season in these regional outposts where they can build up interest in the team. And he's got a very, very diverse staff. Seems like they're just hitting all the right marks right now. You think hockey will do well in Seattle, don't you?
I think it'll do very well. The proximity to Vancouver, you got our natural rivalry there, Denver, all the California-based clubs. It's the youth hockey in the region, right? They're going to do extremely well, in my opinion. And you mentioned the diversity. That's been a focus of Todd Leiweke and ownership from day one, because they've been able to build this franchise from scratch in 2021, in this current climate that we're in. DEI and those types of initiatives, having people of diverse backgrounds, diverse thought, experiences, you're really seeing it with the Kraken.
NBC recently wrapped up its run of 15 plus years broadcasting NHL games. Next season, the NHL will have new partners, Disney and ESPN and Turner Sports. 2 parts to this question. How did NBC leave a legacy in terms of its coverage of the NHL? And what are you keeping an eye on with the new media partners heading into next season?
Yeah, you've really seen it from day one with NBC back in 2005, 2006. Innovation and being at the forefront of trying new things. Sam Flood, the executive producer, now is the executive producer. At the time was coordinating producer and came up with the concept of Inside the Glass, putting that hockey analyst in between the benches to get really the temperature, the feel of the game, and to basically provide a new position for a hockey commentator. So you've really seen it since day one. You've seen the Inside the Glass position, the Winter Classic, numerous outdoor games with the Outdoor Series. And so their coverage of hockey for 15 plus years has really been marked by innovation and experimentation.
To that point, Sam Flood is a hockey guy. I think Williams College and some other areas. So he had hockey in his blood, and it showed in the way NBC brought that innovation to the table. Number 2, though, what do you anticipate from the new partners?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. You have ESPN, Disney, and Turner Sports. And with Turner, obviously, it's probably one of, if not the best studio show out there inside the NBA. I'm particularly interested in seeing how that fun, that personality that you see on that studio show, does that come to the Turner Sports broadcast? You're going to have Gretzky and some notable other figures in that studio show. Does that translate over? And with ESPN and Disney, from people I talked to around the league when that deal was announced, people couldn't have been happier, right? To be back on ESPN, grow the fan base. NBC did a great job, but I think with ESPN and Disney, you're going to reach more casual fans, probably more casual hockey fans, and maybe even fans that haven't been introduced to the sport ever. And hopefully they can continue to grow their audience base.
Everyone's talking about the great one on TNT, and I think he will be good. I think the sleeper here, Chris Chelios, who's going to be an analyst for ESPN, I think he's going to be a really, really interesting personality to watch. Story 3, you've written a lot about it. New sponsorship opportunities, revenue growth around the NHL. We're talking about helmet decals. We're talking about possible jersey advertising. What do you expect in terms of the marketplace, and how do you see these teams selling in this new environment?
Yeah, I think the helmet decals that you referenced, those are going going to continue into 2021, 2022 season. Jersey ads, Commissioner Bettman, and from what we've reported, that's going to be on hold for now, but it is something the league's exploring. In terms of the decals, last season, it was a make good opportunity. It was a revenue retention tool for the teams to retain that revenue and to retain partners. 2/3 of the naming of partners that were on a decal were naming rights partners. So I'm interested to see a couple things with this heading into next season. One, does that continue, or does that 2/3 split, does that go down to a third or less than a third of teams that have their naming rights sponsor on their helmet? And two, what types of companies obviously will be part of these, will be integrated into these, this position on the helmet, right? Is it going to be traditional brands in sports that are spending? Is it going to be more like the NBA, where you see teams that maybe haven't traditionally spent in sports coming into the fold, the Bumbles of the world, and tech companies, Silicon Valley based businesses? So it's going to be something interesting to watch. Teams don't have a full, year sales cycle as part of this, but they definitely have more lead time than what they had leading up to the current season, or excuse me, this most recent season, with the make good selling that they were doing.
We knew once this new sponsorship inventory was introduced, it was probably going to be here to stay. And that's what you're seeing, certainly with the helmet decals, and you could see it with other inventory in the future. So 3 really interesting issues to watch during the NHL's offseason. Thanks, Mark Burns.